When autumn rolls around, you can count on two things happening for sure. The leaves will change to beautiful shades of gold, red, brown, and orange, and farmers will be out in the fields harvesting their crops. What do they use to harvest their crops? A machine called a combine. And what make of combine do all the smart, handsome farmers use? You guessed it, a John Deere combine.
Thousands of people with skillful hands, building hope across the land. Strong machines made with pride throughout the cities and the countryside, putting together dreams one by one, where everyone believes in a job well done. Well, I must be in John Deere Country. Well, I must be in John Deere Country, in John Deere Country. Every part and piece built with care, the best of the best anywhere. More than just a job that they do, dedicated and proud through and through. Machines that help to get the hard work done. Machines that help to feed everyone. Well, I must be John Deere Country. Well, I must be John Deere Country, in John Deere Country. Well, I must be in John Deere Country. I must be in John Deere Country. Well, I must be in John Deere Country. Well, I must be in John Deere Country, in John Deere Country.
Combines are called combines because they combine several different operations: gathering a standard crop, such as corn, small grain, or rice, threshing the seed from the stem, separating the chaff, collecting the seed in a storage tank, and disposing the waste out the back. The driver sits in a comfortable, air-conditioned cab. He is surrounded by switches and indicators that enable him to monitor and control the progress of the various operations. A gathering component, such as a corn head or flex head, is attached to the front end. At the very top of the combine is the grain tank. It holds up to 300 bushels of grain. The harvested crop is carried from the bin through an unloading auger to a wagon traveling alongside. The waste from the harvest, including corn husks and straw, are chopped up and blown out the back. This waste helps nourish the ground for the next year's planting. But farmers didn't always have it so good. Before self-propelled combines, farmers had to get the crop over to the threshing machine and pitchfork it in. It was hard work, noisy, dangerous, and dirty. Then in the late 1940s, John Deere produced their first self-propelled combine. It was designated Model 55 and became known as Old Roundback. Back then, 30 bushels per acre and 350 bushels in a day was considered very good. Today's combines harvest about 200 bushels per acre and between 5,000 and 6,000 bushels in a day. And business is good. John Deere sells their combines to farmers all over the world. We're in East Moline, Illinois, on the banks of the Mississippi River, at the John Deere Harvester Works. This is where they make the John Deere Combine. John Deere opened this factory in 1913. The last edition was in 1981. It is located on a 123-acre site about 5 miles from the John Deere Pavilion, which is located in downtown Moline, Illinois. Here's the skinny. About 75 acres of factory space under roof. That's 3.4 million square feet. 1,800 employees, 43 robotic welders, and 20 laser cells. If you're a John Deere fan and you visit Moline, there are 4 must-sees: the John Deere Pavilion and Store, the John Deere Collector Center, John Deere World Headquarters, and the John Deere Harvester Works. Let's go inside this legendary factory and see what's going on. First, let's check out the sheet metal operations, or what John Deere calls the primaries. This is where it all starts. Big machines making small parts out of large slabs of sheet metal. Many of the 17,000 parts that go into a John Deere combine get made right here. First, large slabs of metal are cut into smaller pieces. These smaller pieces are then formed by computer-controlled presses, shaped by bend brakes, or cut into precise sizes by a laser. Safety is always of prime importance. To operate this press, both the operator's hands have to be on the buttons. This assures the operator's hands will be out of harm's way when the machine goes into action. This is a fully computerized punch press that can form 37 different types of holes in the metal. The operator only has to place the slab of sheet metal on the machine's table. Then the machine, driven by computers, takes it from there. These presses have a pressing capacity ranging from 250 to 750 tons. Some presses are programmed to make 4 different bends on one part. Dies, or fixtures, are kept close to their press to make changing fixtures quick and efficient. Automated high-rise laser cells are the state-of-the-art in the world of metal fabrication. They are the fastest and most precise way to cut metal. The John Deere Harvester Works has the largest automated laser cell system in the United States and the 3rd largest in the world. Here's how they work. The metal slabs are stored in 55-foot tall towers. When the computer program laser finishes working on one slab, it is pushed out and the next slab is automatically fed into the laser cutting area. Each tower can hold 153 tons of steel and operate for 3 days without any operator intervention. The John Deere Harvester Works now has 20 laser cells and plans on adding 4 more. These lasers are amazing. Metal melts at 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. That laser beam you're watching is between 2,500 and 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The laser beam can cut, depending on the thickness of the metal, about 400 holes in 60 seconds, can move at an astounding rate of 4,700 inches per minute, and will pull 3 Gs when it takes a corner. One laser cell weighs over 200 tons and takes 15 semi-tractor trailer trucks to deliver. I told you lasers were amazing. They call this the CMM room. CMM is all about checking for quality. Every part you see starts with an engineering print. These specifications are given to the various computer-controlled machines to cut or stamp out the part. So that's what happens. Parts and assemblies are being made every day all over the factory. But what about checking these parts to make sure they match the original specifications? That's where the CMM room comes in. CMM stands for Coordinate Measuring Machine. The CMM measures length, width, and depth, called coordinates X, Y, and Z, then compares the results to the original engineering specs. It's important parts match consistently because the operation of the entire machine depends on all the parts matching the original plans. Parts being off just 1/100th of an inch could reduce the efficiency of the combine. To make sure measurements are exact, you need a steady base. These CMM machines rest on a 4-foot thick, 300,000-pound air-cushioned concrete slab that eliminates any vibrations. You could drive a diesel locomotive past the CMM room and a dime standing on edge wouldn't topple over. The John Deere Harvester Works is divided into 3 main areas: metal fabrication, which we just talked about, paint, and the main and sub-assembly lines. The largest of the sub-assembly lines is the STS body line. STS stands for Single Tine Separator and is the core of the combine. The STS separator body houses the separating module called the STS bullet rotor, along with the threshing and cleaning systems. The bullet rotor separates the grain from the waste, which is chopped up and blown out the back. Side sheets are welded, then hung near the line, waiting their turn to be installed. The main separator unit gets bigger and heavier as it moves down the line, picking up parts from the various sub-assemblies. Air pressure fixtures, which absorb most of the weight, allow the line workers to move the unit with very little effort. All hardware is tightened to exact specifications with air tooling. At the end of the line, there is a cutaway display showing the STS unit in action. The main separator body will now move along the overhead conveyor system to paint. After paint, it will be carried to the main assembly line. Parts and assemblies are moved about the factory on 9 miles of overhead conveyor track. There's an additional 2 miles of track in the paint department. When each module completes its component, the component is hoisted up and hooked to the constantly moving track. It is then assigned a sequence number and carried to paint. On average, John Deere combines cost over $300,000, operate for 17 years, and change owners 5 times. So resale value is an important part of the John Deere package. To help preserve their combines, John Deere has made a $40 million investment in this new, state-of-the-art, 120,000 square foot enclosed and pressurized paint facility. First, the unpainted parts and assemblies are carried from their modules by the overhead track to a 10-stage immersion system. The parts and assemblies are loaded on a carrier, and 6 computer-controlled cranes, each able to support 28,000 pounds, moves the carriers from tank to tank. The parts are lowered into the tanks filled with different chemicals, each designed to either remove dirt and oil or fight corrosion. The last tank is the E-coat, or primer. E stands for electrolysis. Electrolysis is an electrical process where the paint is given a positive charge and the part a negative charge. Opposites attract, just like magnets. so the paint particles are drawn to every square inch of the part or assembly. After e-coat, the parts are cured in a 275-degree Fahrenheit oven for 68 minutes. Now the assembly is ready for the final or top coat. 4 spray robots are used in the area where larger parts are painted, like the STS module and the grain tank. 2 spray robots operate in the header area where smaller parts are painted, like this auger. The header paint system is similar to the combine system, except for the dipping process. Headers are not dipped. They are cleaned in booths with sprayers and are painted by robots using a sophisticated wet-on-wet spray application. After the robots, trained specialists, outfitted in sealed suits with fresh air pumped in, take over. They cover any areas the robots may have missed. $80,000 gallons of paint are used in 1 year's production. After inspection, to make sure all surfaces are covered, the assemblies are baked in another oven at 220 degrees Fahrenheit for 49 minutes. The baking process hardens the paint and makes it shiny. Next, the conveyor carries the parts out of the paint section to the main assembly line. All these steps, dipping in chemicals that clean and preserve, e-coat, top coat, baking, inspection, touch-up, translate into paint durability and better corrosion protection. This means the John Deere Combine will look better, longer. And that translates into more money in farmers' pockets when trade-in time comes. This factory is a series of different departments, each assigned a number, and all working together to get their particular assembly ready to be delivered to the final assembly line as quickly as possible without sacrificing any quality. It starts with the STS module. After paint, the transmission gets installed, and the built tag, indicating which options have been chosen, is hung on the body. Now the STS module is ready to start the 35-station final assembly line. First, the rear axle is bolted to the body. These wheels steer the combine. The front wheels, which are fixed, drive the combine. The combine is secured to a fixture and placed on a yellow turntable built into the floor, which rotates 90 degrees. The combine connects to a chain system in the floor. The chain is called the tow veer and heads south down the 600-yard long 21-station line. The line operates on a stop-and-go basis. When the line stops, each station is responsible to complete a specific task. An electronic board called the bingo board lists each station by number. The numbers are either red or green. Red indicates the task has not yet been completed. When the station completes their task, an operator pushes a button which changes the red light to green. When all numbers turn green, a siren sounds, amber lights blink, and the line moves. Each station usually performs their task in under 20 minutes. Let's go down the line and highlight some of the major sub-assembly installations. This is station number 5, where the grain tank is installed. Gears and chains on the side of the grain tank provide a dependable drive system for the unloading auger. After the grain tank returns from paint, it is brought to station 5 on a dolly. When it's time to install, gates lower and a red warning light goes on to stop traffic as it is pushed across the aisle to the assembly line. The grain tank is then hoisted up, slid into position over the combine, lowered onto it, and then bolted into place. The grain tank varies in capacity from 250 bushels to 300 bushels. Grain is brought to the grain tank by the clean grain elevator. Grain is usually moved by an auger, but the clean grain elevator doesn't use an auger. It uses a series of paddles connected to a moving chain to lift or elevate the grain up to the loading auger. The clean grain elevator is installed using a special device called a simple air manipulator, or SAM for short. SAM is a large hand-controlled clamp that allows the operator to easily pick up and maneuver objects weighing hundreds of pounds. Not all the combine's components are made at the harvester works. John Deere's strategy with outside deliveries is to have them delivered close to the place in the factory where they will be used. This minimizes handling. The cabs roll out of the truck at Station 8, right where they will be installed, and the entire truckload will be installed today. This minimizes tying money up in inventory. The concept is called asset management. The combine's cab is an example of asset management. It is built at the McLaughlin Body Company, just down the street from the John Deere Harvester Works. John Deere tries to establish this type of efficiency and teamwork with all its vendors. If one fails to deliver, the entire line stops. Each assembly and each combine is assigned a sequence number. When they meet on the line, these numbers must match. When you consider all the options John Deere offers, over 3 million possible configurations, it's a mind-boggling task to make sure the right assembly merges with the right combine at the final assembly line. John Deere line workers and vendors do it all day, every day. The cab is a nice place to be. The seats are comfy, visibility is good, it's air-conditioned, you listen to your favorite music on a CD player, and the control of every function is at the operator's fingertips. Computers keep operators apprised of productivity and engine performance. These new John Deere combines have come a long way since the John Deere combines of the 40s and 50s. Back then, the 55 was John Deere's first self-propelled combine.
It's the new number 55, shown here opening up a field of wheat. It cuts a 12-foot swath and does a bang-up job of threshing, separating, and cleaning. From the hydraulically controlled center delivery auger-type platform on through the machine, the number 55 has plenty of capacity to handle heavy crops. It has a 30-inch brass bar cylinder and 30-inch separator with all steel straw walkers. The 45-bushel quick-to-empty grain tank and heavy-duty motor are on top of the machine, ensuring a compact, well-balanced outfit that is unusually easy to handle and take through gates. In this scene, the number 55 is picking up a 16-foot windrow of heavy wheat. The pickup unit gets all the grain onto the platform. All controls are convenient to the operator, who has a full view of his work at all times. Accessibility of operating parts for easy greasing and servicing is a feature of this new combine that rounds out the line of grain-saving John Deere combines.
The heart of the combine is the PowerTech Plus engine, produced in John Deere's plant in Waterloo, Iowa. These engines range from 6.8 to 13.5 liters and produce 265 to 480 horsepower. The engine powers every hydraulic and mechanical function. The transmission uses gears instead of belts to distribute the power, and the main gear comes from a John Deere factory in Madrid, Spain. The engine is secured to the deck, and the main engine gear case is installed. The hydraulic pump stack is secured to the main engine gear case, and the cooling package is assembled and installed. The completed engine platform consists of the engine, main gear case, and the cooling and electrical systems. It can weigh up to 4,600 pounds and is swung into place using a hand-controlled hoist. This hoist, made by Lamco of Moline, Illinois, has a capacity of 7,000 pounds. Both manual and robotic welding are used at various sub-assemblies around the factory. The robots are programmed to hit the exact spot every time. This ensures consistent quality. When you buy a $300,000 plus vehicle, you ought to get something special, right? Well, John Deere thinks so. So if you pick up your combine at the factory, John Deere not only gives you a free hat, a nice picture, and a real gold key, they make a big deal out of it. Welcome to the Gold Key celebration at the John Deere Harvester Works. Today's guests are Brian Hodgson and his wife Jenna, Brian's dad Glenn, and a good friend, Eric Leahy. We're at Station 22, and Brian's combine is ready to start for the first time. Guess who gets to start it? Brian, and with a real gold key. Way to go, Brian! Whew! Glad it started, but if it didn't, I guess this is the place to be. After the gold key celebration, the dolly is removed and the combine travels the last 13 stations under its own power. Now it is time to install a crucial component of the combine, the feeder house. First, the front end of the combine must be raised by hydraulic lifts to allow access to the underside, where the feeder house is attached. After the various hoses and lines are cleared out of the way, the feeder house is pushed onto the front end and fastened to the combine. The feeder house connects to and powers the header. As the header cuts the crop from the field, it is fed into the combine through the feeder house. A feature called the Contour Master allows the feeder house to tilt left or right as the contours of the field dictate. With the aid of 2 hooks and a single lever hookup, even giant 35-foot wide headers are easily installed. Headers are the cutting edge of the combine. There are many different types, and they come in different widths up to 35 feet. The header manufacturing process starts with flat sheets of metal. They are punched, bent, and welded into the different shapes needed for the various types of headers. The heart of the header is the auger. This churning, giant drill bit gathers the crop and feeds it into the combine. The auger consists of a metal cylinder with a spiral blade attached. First, the metal is bent and welded into a cylinder shape. Augers of various widths are made up of smaller sections being welded together. Spiral blade ends are clamped, welded together, then welded to the cylinder. Rough spots on the cylinder are ground off so the blade is welded onto a smooth surface. The next major part of the header is the cutter bar. The flexible cutter bar floats up and down, flexing with the contours of the ground, ensuring that every bit of crop is harvested. From here, the header goes to paint, then to final assembly. To transfer the payload from the grain tank to a truck, a long unloading auger swings out from the side of the combine. The unloading auger is about 26 feet long. The high unload feature enables 300 bushels to be unloaded in 1.5 minutes. That's 3.3 bushels per second. Normal unload rate is 2.2 bushels per second. A boot at the end of the auger directs the grain as it is being unloaded. About a third of the auger is installed during the grain tank sub-assembly. The remaining section is installed on the assembly line after the installation of the feeder house. After the main components, like the engine platform, grain tank, and cab have been installed, the combine nears the end of the line. Station 34 installs the upper body panels, and Station 35 applies the decals. These panels are called gull wings because they are hinged on the roof and open up like the wings of a seagull. The panels are made of a high-resistance corn and soybean resin. These workers are applying the distinctive decals that make the John Deere Combine look special. A template is used to place the decal in its precise spot. Then a rubber squeegee presses on the decal and smooths out any air pockets or creases. Next, the protective backing is stripped off. Say, these guys show pretty good form. I wonder if they ever dream about going to the Decal Application Olympics.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the Decal Application Olympic Championship round. The fans are really into it. You can feel the excitement in the air. First up will be Art French from John Deere. He's getting ready. Look at that rapid rip away. The windmill move and the application. Oh, there's a beautiful triple squeegee ending with a flourish. Art is really on his game today. Now a twizzle, twisty, rip away. This is a difficult move now. A triple press pogo with piste sweep to the right. Oh, and Art performs it flawlessly. I think we're going to see some records fall today. Another difficult move. A triple Lindsay, followed by a swiping stroke. And look, no bubbles. And Art does it ending with a beautiful backhand smoothie. The crowd is going wild. We've never seen anyone perform these extremely difficult moves with such exquisite form and style. Well, let's see what the judges have to say. 10, 10, 10, 10, perfection! Way to go, Art!
After the decals, all that remains is a tire change. The solid factory tires are pulled off and replaced with conventional air-filled tires. With the new tires installed, another John Deere Combine has completed the 35-station final assembly journey and drives off for its final inspection. This is the bay where the final inspection takes place. Inspectors go over the entire machine, looking carefully for imperfections or any problems. John Deere Combines leave the plant by road and rail. The Harvester Works has fully equipped docking areas for both trucks and trains. If a combine is to be transferred via truck, it is brought to the truck loading dock by an 844J wheel loader. The 844J has a special attachment on the front end that lifts the combine by its rear axle. Flatbeds with depressed center sections are backed into open docking bays. The entire combine is carefully secured by 4 heavy chains hanging from a giant hoist. The hoist has a load capacity of 22,500 pounds. There's no room for error here. The combine must be set precisely centered on the flatbed to equally distribute the weight and balance. The combine is then secured to the flatbed using floor chain tie-downs. After a final check, the loaded flatbeds head to the open road to start their journey to a John Deere dealer somewhere in the United States. New combines are also shipped by rail. Empty flat cars are backed into the rail loading dock. The dock is designed so that the surfaces of empty flat cars are level with the driving and walking surfaces. This enables the 844J wheel loader to place the combine directly on the flat car. Like on the flatbed trucks, the combines loaded on flat cars are tied down using chains. When all the flat cars in the bay are loaded, they are pulled out by a special vehicle called a trackmobile. The trackmobile is a unique machine. It uses both rubber tires and flanged steel wheels to ride both on the road and on train tracks. John Deere uses the trackmobile to move flat cars loaded with combines to a siding, where the cars are picked up by a diesel locomotive. The trackmobile drives out to the track using its rubber tires. It lines up with the track, and the flanged steel wheels drop down. Now the trackmobile is ready to ride the rails. The little trackmobile plays a big role in shipping John Deere combines all over the world. The loaded flat cars are assembled and parked on sidings, waiting for a GP9 from the Iowa, Chicago, and Eastern Railroad to make up a complete train. An inspector walks the line, making sure couplings are good and the combines are tied down securely. After combining the various consists into one long and very impressive 125-car train, the Jeep takes the completed train to the main line, where it will be connected to an even bigger diesel to begin its journey to towns all over the USA and the world. Well, that's how John Deere makes the best-selling combines in the world. Hope you enjoyed the show. To see how John Deere made combines back in 1959, go to our bonus feature, Building the Big Ones. You'll see how the harvester works looked back then, plus John Deere's first self-propelled combines, the 55, 45, and 95. See you next time, somewhere in John Deere Country.
Thousands of people with skillful hands building hope across the land. Strong machines made with pride throughout the cities and the countryside, putting together dreams one by one, where everyone believes in a job well done. Well, I must be in John Deere Country. Well, I must be John Deere Country, in John Deere Country. Every part and piece built with care, the best of the best, anywhere, more than just a job that they do, dedicated and proud through and through. Machines that help to get the hard work done. Machines that help to feed everyone. Well, I must be in John Deere Country. Well, I must be in John Deere Country, in John Deere Country. Well, I must be in John Deere Country. Well, I must be in John Deere Country. Well, I must be in John Deere Country. John Deere Country. Left the others far behind. Only 2 cylinders make her go. When you hear that sound, everyone will know. Listen, chums, now here it comes. When you hear that sound coming through your town, the answer is clear, it's a big John Deere. First ever engine of its kind, left the others far behind. Only 2 cylinders make her go. When you hear that sound, everyone will know. Listen, chum, now here it comes. When you hear that sound coming through your town, the answer is clear, it's a big John Deere. First ever engine of its kind, left the others far behind. Only 2 cylinders make her go. When you hear that sound, everyone will know. Listen, chums, now here it comes. When you hear that sound coming through your town, the answer is clear, it's a big John Deere. I'd rather spend the morning with my good old
From the creators of the popular All About John Deere video series comes an all-new series, John Deere Action. More wall-to-wall John Deere. Part 1 covers the cotton picker, spring planting and cultivating, the 80-20 reunion, skid steers,
there's nothing else like driving hard,
motor graders,
big machine,
and much more. Plus new songs by James Coffey. John Deere Action Part 1. If you love John Deere, you'll love this show.
John Deere Action. Where people plow the fields until the ground. Won't find a more.
We first visited John Deere Heaven in All About John Deere Part 4. People enjoyed the trip so much, we decided to return and stay for an entire show. See John Deere toys come alive in this fanciful, fast-paced mix of toy trains, tractors, and big machines. TM's video magic will thrill and delight young and old alike. See Owen standard gauge John Deere trains zip around elaborately detailed train displays, along with John Deere toy tractors, cars, and trucks. Plus 10 original songs by our favorite singer-songwriter, James Coffey. Otto is in town, and his little switch engine is blocking the main line. And here comes the circus train. Oh no! If you love John Deere toys, music, and fun, buy this DVD. You'll love it. Guaranteed.
John Deere Heaven.
I love toy trains, one of the most popular children's series in the country. See Toy Trains, Real Trains, Funny Toy Train Bloopers,
Oh no!
and the music of award-winning singer-songwriter James Coffey. 12 shows on 4 90-minute DVDs, plus the final show, a 45-minute special, and oh no, wall-to-wall laughs and fun. 14 shows, all on 6 DVDs. Awards include the prestigious Parents' Choice. For more information, call 800-892-2822 or visit us on the web at tmbv.com.
It's a wonderful kind of feeling. That's the reason I love toy trains. Through my daddy's eyes and a child's dream, I travel along by a gentle stream, through the hills and the valleys low, to a time and place so long ago. Headed down that railway line on a steamer train from another time. I feel the wind across my face like a memory I can't erase. By the mountains and the rolling plains, it's all about trains. Come aboard, let's take a ride to cityscapes and the countryside. Travel far under starry nights and the gentle glow of the signal lights. Sing a song and tell a tale of the glory days on the mighty rail. The engine shouts and the whistle screams as we glide along on clouds of steam, by the farms and fields of golden grains. It's all about trains. It's all about trains. It's all about trains. It's all about trains.
I wanna fly way up high. I wanna learn and grow.
New from TM, all about airplanes and flying machines. The first and the only video for kids licensed by Boeing. 45 minutes of air adventures the entire family will enjoy. Join our narrator, Garrett, as he takes his first flying lesson. Enjoy the beauty of soaring over the Pacific Ocean with Buddy, the hang gliding dog. Thrill to the world's fastest motorsport, the Reno Air Races. This film also features heart-pounding formation flying with the legendary Blue Angels, plus blimps, paragliders, hot air balloons, helicopters, Boeing commercial jets, and a lot more. All about airplanes and flying machines, the best aviation film ever. Don't miss it.
Saddle up your horses, roundup time is near.
Don't miss All About Cowboys Part 1, 45 minutes of exciting cowboy action. See amazing trick riders, heart-pounding rodeo action, a world-class trick roper, original music by Bethany Zill, plus lots more.
My Phyllis dear, to yon blue mountain free, where blossoms smell the sweetest. Come roll along with me. It's every Sunday morning when I am by your side. Let's jump into the wagon and we'll all take a ride. Wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon, wait for the wagon and we'll all take a ride.
Don't miss it.
Visit our I Love Toy Trains outlet store. We have a fine selection of Lionel trains and accessories, both new and refurbished Lionel from the 50s. MTH trains, track and accessories. One of the largest selection of Thomas in Southwest Michigan.